Hello there, Huw. How are you?
Ooh, I'm looking forward to
Good
this one
afternoon.
tonight. Good
Good
evening, good
evening.
afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Lorraine and Hugh Bellot at Black Business Recommendation. We're going live and we're just getting things together. So join us. And tonight we have a special guest, Jaque Cranston, who is a chartered psychologist. And I am going to ask her questions about psychology and how that works within business and the framework in which she works within. Now, personal note, I know Jaque, we work together, and the issue that we're going to talk about is a growth mindset. Now, up until last year, I didn't know about it, and it was just something that popped up, but it makes so much sense because it qualified a lot of things that I didn't know. So, over to you. Hello, Jaque. How are you?
Hi, Huw and Lorraine. How are you both? You wonderful couple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are things? How are you?
Very well, thank you very much. And I'm safe.
That's good. That's
Okay.
good to hear.
Well, I'm going to ask you not trying questions, but I'm going to ask you the kind of questions that we need to sort of establish what we are doing tonight. So first, may I ask you, what's your profession? What do you do?
I am a chartered psychologist and a qualified teacher.
Okay, so question. I heard people call themselves psychologists, but I've never heard anyone say chartered on top of that. What does that mean? What's the difference?
So the title of chartered psychologist is recognized through the British Psychological Society, and it's a legally recognized profession that reflects the highest level of psychological knowledge and expertise. And so you have to reach a certain level of competencies before it can be awarded to you. And I've reached that level, thank God.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm privileged. Now, the thing is, what's your qualification before you got there? Because I know you must be qualified to get it, as you stated. So how did you get, what's the qualification before?
So the qualification before that was I had a degree in psychology because I'm passionate about people and their developments and how they achieve things and their motivation. Once I'd finished my degree, I wanted to find out how people learn. It's important how people grow. And so what I did, I decided that I was going to do a master's in education. I wanted to find out how, the curriculum was designed, how the government decided that they were going to, bring forth their curriculum into schools. And so I went off and did a master's in education. Once I'd actually did that, I decided to get a job within a school. I was supervised by a brilliant educational psychologist. And so I learned a lot of skills from her. And then from there, after having 5 years experience, I then decided that I was going to apply for my chartership. I don't think I was confident enough at the time to do it. But as I went on and had the practice, I then applied. I think it must have been sort of like 8 years after.
Wow.
Wow. So it's not something
So that's what I applied for. No, not at all. Not at all. You have to really show and reflect that you've actually been using psychological theory in a very successful way. And you have to show that you've actually been supervised by somebody who is a master at what they do. And once you get to that particular competency, then they will award it. But you have to show that you have done that.
Right.
Okay.
Well done, you.
Thank you. Well done, because, a lot of people do what they do, but the important thing is it's how do you put yourself to the next level? And I guess that's where the growth mindset comes into it, because without the growth mindset, there are stumbling blocks, and I would presume you need growth mindset. So what is that about? Because that's the topic for today. What is growth mindset?
So the mindset was something that was penned by somebody by the name of Carol Dweck, and she believed that people should work towards a particular goal. It didn't really matter about what your ability was. It's knowing that there was something that you could actually now for myself, the arts I learned. I'm a visual learner. I'm not an auditory learner. I don't learn by theory. And so Caroline penned this term growth mindset to say it doesn't matter what level you're at, it doesn't matter who you are, it is determined by a growth mindset. So for instance, with myself, I knew that I was a practical learner. So I knew that I could learn something. So for me, my ability was, I can do it, but not yet. Now, if you have a fixed mindset, possibly because of your belief system, or possibly because of what you've been told, the environment that you grew in, the teachers that you had around you, you would think, with my ability, I can't do that. I can't study. I can't learn. Books are not for me. And so what you do, you have this self-defeatist mindset where everything for you is, I can't do it. Whereas somebody that has a growth mindset is working towards a goal and they're going step by step. Right. So you could say you've got like 5 stages where you look at your belief, you look at your effort, you look at the challenges, the motivation, and the feedback to yourself. So along my pathway to get to the chartership, I always knew that I wanted to be a psychologist. I really had to believe in how I learned. I had to believe in what I knew, and I asked questions along the way. So luckily, I had good input around me, and that grew with me as a growth mindset.
Right, that's great. In terms of how you the steps that you took for to get to your chartership. Obviously, our viewers that are here with us today will want to know, okay, well, in business, and I'm sure Huw will get into that bit later on, how what would be the first things that they would need to do if from going from the inception of their business, and how they get over the first hurdle and so forth.
To add to that just before,
yeah,
the important thing on top of that was that as you were talking about the growth mindset there, the important thing that I picked up was you used the word yet. What's that got to do with growth mindset? Because what's yet got to do with it? But I thought that was important because it sounded like it was the conduit, the mix, the addition to your learning. So how do you put that with business?
It definitely is the cohesive glue that brings it together as you're going through your journey and you're developing the mindset that is beneficial to you. So you're going along, and at the time, I wanted to be a psychologist, but it was a long journey of study. And so if I was not thinking about the power of yet, Jaque, you have the qualifications, or okay, let's go back to when I wanted to do my degree. I wanted to do a degree, but I was a bit fixed because I thought, oh, I'm not worthy, I can't do it. But it was yet, with the right people that said to me, you can do it, you can go in as a mature student. I thought, okay, so it's time bound.
Right.
So the power of yet is very important. You may not be ready to do it now. And as an entrepreneur, you may not be ready now, but what is it that you need? So instead of going to the fixed mindset where you're just going to think, I can't do it, it's not for me. If you put yet there, it makes you think that, what else do I need to go do? Who do I need to ask? Or what do I need to do from here? I'm going to find out, and then I will continue along my journey.
Okay, right. Because that's important, because when in business, we go through many obstacles. Now, just as a people, we've been through many obstacles. To a certain degree, we are just coming out of the end where we are now the first, or maybe, well, I would say we're the first generation that has aspirations to do way past what we have. That doesn't mean it's not normally what we do, but right now we have the capability and aspirations to look at the word yet and formulate that in our lifestyle and in our business. So for me, if I was thinking, I want to start a business, but I don't have the qualification, I cannot just stop there. I have to put the
That's
word
right.
yet. And then
Absolutely.
that then challenges me to find a way to get to that position. So in
Yes.
business, I would say that the word yet is very important, because you may want to do something, you may have obstacles, but you then have to recognize what those obstacles are, find the gear lever to go from first, second to third, and every time you go up a gear, it's yet. I can still go yet. I'm going, yep, I'm there. I will get there. I haven't got it yet, but I'm going to get there. And that is a maneuver to move forward. So I feel that that's a very powerful word, and a very simple
Yes.
word, but a very powerful word.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like what you used when you said that you have to find the obstacle, because that is an operative word. You've got yet, but the obstacle is what you need to develop. And a lot of people, they do not want to tackle the obstacle. The obstacle is there and it stops you.
Right. So that
whatever it is that you need to work on that obstacle alongside the yet and keep moving forward. For my obstacle at the time is that I didn't think that I liked learning. And so what I did, I confronted my obstacles. I didn't think to myself, no, I can't do the degree. That's too hard. It's going to take too long. I had a vision and I knew what the outcome that I wanted, and I knew what was in me. And so even though the yet was there, I confronted the obstacles. So what I did, I strengthened what I had, you know, I worked on my strengths and I developed the weakness, which was an obstacle. So that was excellent what you said there, Huw.
Yeah, I think that's important for business as a whole, because we may be talking about someone's education, your path, but it's the same thing in business, because a lot of us have brilliant ideas, but we stop at that point because we say we can't do it. We never use the word yet, because what you're saying is we need the tools, yeah, to come in to utilize and to recognize what our weaknesses are. And when we try to overcome them, it's almost like we are reflecting on what we're not doing. Yeah. And if we are reflecting, then we're saying, okay, well, how do we then move to the next stage, which is then the word yet. So that's very important. We're going to say hi to a couple of people and then we're going to come back. Yeah. Go ahead. So.
Okay, so yeah,
okay.
Just to say good evening to everybody that's joined us this evening. It's nice to see you all. Do pose your questions. I can see what you're writing down. So if you do have a question for Jaque, in about say 20 minutes or so, then we can put them to her and have a good conversation. Okay, and see how this can help somebody within the group. Whether they be at the beginning of their journey in business and got an idea, to a person who's already currently running their business and actually want to take it to the next level.
And then, you know, to that point where you want to take it to the next level, but you don't know what it is that you need to do.
Or what's holding you back.
So that is where the growth mindset that we're talking about would be the best thing to actually do. Now, how do we then look at, in terms of working in a business, what would you say is the best way to look at how we utilize a growth mindset? Because I know you got maps and everything else. I remember that growth mindset map that you did there. And, you know, I think that, to be honest, in the near future, Jaque, I think you should be doing a webinar training people, because that's really good. Yeah. So I'm going to try to encourage you.
That would be for later.
Because you haven't done it yet. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, first and foremost, I want to say respect and honor to every entrepreneur on your page, Huw, because you and your Lorraine have done something really phenomenal where all entrepreneurs, all business owners can meet on your page, and, you know, we can look for things that we actually need. We can support each other. We can get information. So I believe that we really need to take this forum quite seriously, and we need to build it as our library. We need to build it as our training center, because we're talking about a growth mindset, and it means that people are on this page for a reason. They need something, And you've got to work on what does it mean to be an entrepreneur. So your mind needs to be developed and fed at all times. It's not just about having your business and putting it out there. First and foremost, we have to deal with self. We have to deal with your mind and what you're putting into your mind and what you are reading and what you are eating and what you are drinking. So it depends on, I would ask everyone, what is your vision and what is your goal at the moment as to how you're going to develop the growth mindset? Because if you are unclear about your business and your audience and what tools you need and how you're going to leverage your business, you will stay in a fixed mindset. So I can talk about mindset and explain to you exactly how you're to use it. But if you're unclear about where you're going, the impact is not going to be as big as it should be, and you're not going to be able to sustain it. So the first thing is everybody's vision clear about what they are doing? What is it that you actually need? Because it'd be very easy then to build your yet and to develop the words around a growth mindset. That's what we should all be working towards. But it's going to be very easy to slip back into the fixed mindset only because you don't know. You don't know that you don't know.
Right.
Okay.
To get you to a place where you know that you know.
Can I ask you from that point,
Right.
you use the word vision, yeah? Now, a lot of us are visual creatures. Moi.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, with vision, is there something that you can do? Is there like, what's that vision board or something like that I heard about? Is that something that you use to create, to, you know, make that decision, make that direction?
As Black people, as cultural people, a lot of us know that we were brought up in the church, our grandmothers. I guess we all have had that experience. And there's a word that is often used, right? Written in the Bible. And it says, write your vision and make it plain. So the vision that you have in your head, it needs to be written first and foremost. Before we do anything, you need to write the vision so it's plain, so you can see it.
Right.
You put that vision on your wall every day. You're walking past that vision every day. Before you know it, you're already going to go into that growth mindset because you want it. You've written it. You've not planted that in your head and it's sitting there frustrating you. So you're sat in that fixed mindset. You have written your vision and you've made it plain. That's your vision. Right. So that's the first thing I would do in terms of a vision. Once you've done that vision, you either decide whether you want to do your vision board. You look at a picture. It doesn't matter what the picture is. It could be the biggest mansion. You don't stay in a limited vision. You go big. So you put your house that you want, the business that you want, how much you want your business to earn per year, and you put that on the wall. You put the money on the wall. You put everything on the wall that you actually need to see. Now remember, our children that are in schools and in education, we teach them by telling them to practice.
Yeah.
We teach them by telling them to continually practice your times table. This is what I've given you. You need to write this way. As entrepreneurs, this is what we need to do. There is something that we need to practice. So you put your vision up, and then from there, once you've written it and made it plain, then your plans will actually start.
Right. Okay. So I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So I would say then, Jaque, with a lot of our mindsets, this then is maybe a cycle for quite a few people that needs to be broken, because it's a new way of thinking. Because if you have been brought up to, okay, you go to school, you work, you've got to have a proper job, you've got to go to the bank. If you've got an idea, you better know what direction it's going in. That tends to stop a lot of people. And also, obviously, the fear as well. Okay? Because people, lots of people have ideas of, do you know what? I think if I put something together outside of this lockdown, that's a really great idea. But I think what stops people is that old way of thinking, which is, oh no, but if it doesn't work, what, I'm going to be embarrassed, or, how am I going to recover from that? And what are people going to say about me? You see what I'm saying? So how are they, or how do we then start undoing to relearn these new steps that you're giving us here, so that people can manage, show, and then what they would like to do be managed.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that a lot of us are stuck in mindsets that have been passed down, and due to respect, because that's how we're brought up, we stay in that mindset. But we know that things have moved on a lot since then. A lot of us have so much tools and equipment around us as entrepreneurs that would actually cut our time in half of how we do things to make us more effective. And I'm sorry if I'm making this assumption here, but a lot of us are not using them because we don't know. And so it really is about, I have this vision. Nobody in my family has had a business. I'm not even understanding what a business is. It's finding someone that is doing a business well. And you can simply ask them a question. How many people on this page are coachable? Mm-hmm. How many people will take somebody to coach them? When I listen to she and vocation and all she has it. How many people?
Yeah.
We need to be coached sometimes in terms of your business and making sure that this is what you need to do to get to this point. We're not taught in schools how to be business people.
Yeah.
We're taught to go to school, and get qualified, and that's right, and to have a job until that time. Well, let me tell you this, there is so much out there for people to be successful in their business. It's just to please try and know. Stop being in this mindset that I don't know, Ask the question, okay? We can still move forward in getting that knowledge, but there is everything out there that we actually need. And it starts with us creating the right habits.
Okay. Yes.
Habits.
Good point.
Yeah.
Right habits.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, I mean, Lorraine just said it earlier, failure. Scary word. In business, scary word.
Yes.
But many business owners will tell you the business that is successful is not the first business. Yeah?
Yes.
Or not the third, not the fourth. Because they fell and they fell and they fell. But the difference was every time they got up, brushed themselves and then started again.
Yeah.
Being afraid of failure is the failure.
Yes.
Learn from failure. If you learn from failure, you then have a growth mindset, because you didn't say, I'm going to concede to failure.
Yeah.
I am going to fight against this failure that I had. What were the things I didn't do correctly? What were the barriers in my way? And if you use your growth mindset, that is then where the word yet and all the other things come into place and supports you with a bit of collaboration.
Yeah.
Because you've just said it there. You've gone to someone, you asked the questions, but people really now have no excuse to find out information. Because
absolutely,
instead of using the internet to watch twerking, there should be some education being watched. Yeah. And for me, it's not about reading a book. Reading a book is fantastic for those people who can read a book, for hours on end. My mind goes a whirl when I'm reading a book because I'm thinking of many things. So I'm a visual person, and the YouTube and stuff that helps you to see things, and you can learn from that. There are documentaries on YouTube that people can learn from. So it's challenging.
But that is true. Yeah, I understand that. But remember, all the things that we're saying here now, all right? There are lots of, that is exactly what we're talking about, the mindset. How do you change that? Unfortunately, for some people, you just saying there, Jackie, you can ask someone. If you don't know, ask somebody, am I doing this right? Unfortunately, because of the way how we've come about in school, we are, as you said, we're not taught to be business minded. We're not taught, these are the questions that you ask. If you don't know, then go over there and ask the person that is doing it. You know what I mean? Ask somebody for help, ask somebody for training. But
Yeah.
because of where we are, even though we are transitioning,
Yeah.
there is still that in a lot of us. And again, that is mindset, which is, no, I can't ask that person that question. No.
Yeah.
If I want to do this business and it's, I don't know certain parts, I don't want to ask nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's about how do we overcome that hump, yeah, to be one of those steps to enable somebody to feel, okay, right, I can actually start doing something here with my business.
Right. And I think that both yourself and Huw have opened that forum with the Black Business recommendation. And as we were saying earlier on, with whether you're coachable and not wanting to ask people for help, which I do understand. Some people know the method. Everything in this world has a method, and it's not everybody that is going to tell you the method. Some people keep that method to themselves. So you will be doing something and you'll be taking the long way around. There is a method, okay? And I think that in the Black Business recommendation, because people are on the page and they've built up a relationship with yourselves and a relationship of trust, then I believe this is where the training is going to happen. This is where, if we have some entrepreneurs that are thinking, do you know what? I need to have an automated system for my business. I need to get some more clients. I need to know about the back office system. I know nothing about sales. I need to send out a campaign. You know what? Let me hit some training on Black Business recommendation, because I can ask anything. You know what I mean? And I believe that we need to share knowledge. I want to see a lot of business people become successful, start becoming millionaires, because the money is out there.
Yeah.
More so now, because everything is online. Everything is straight into you. You can be training somebody. We could be doing a training right tonight. Tomorrow when you go into your business, this is what you need to do. This is a new piece of equipment that's out there. This is the method that's out there. Who has got this knowledge? Right. And the people that are actually holding on to it, you have a fixed mindset. And I said it. Yes, you do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's about that sharing of the knowledge. Yeah. We do have questions.
It is the sharing of the knowledge. It is. Yeah. And being somewhere where you feel comfortable to actually go and do your training.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
We do have one question that's come through that I'm going to put to you, Jaque. One of our members has asked, are there any tests out there presently for you to discover you know what your current mindset is at present?
It's a good question, because
it is.
I did something like that. There was a +16 whatever program that the kids are doing in the classroom, and I did it, and I found out my character, or my characteral traits, and the kids all found it that, you know, I am an assertive an assertive carer.
No, okay.
Yeah, which meant that. Well, no, sorry about that. Oh, next time. So what that meant was that I've been doing this all my life, and I didn't realize, because I have been very vocal about being a Black man, proud of it.
So when
no, that's a natural thing. That's a natural thing.
No, but the kids though, what did they? But I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jaque? Is there anything, an app or a or a test? You know, like what's the IQ thing that they do? Like Mensa. You know, where you can go on to something, answer a few questions, and you can see where your current mindset is at the moment. Is there anything like that?
There are things out there. There's personality tests out there. There is there is one out there. There is an Einstein personality test. But whenever I'm doing a test, I need to find out who's actually developed that test, who's put that test together, and what's the reason behind the test before I do anything. I always check it out, because I do believe in individual differences, and I do believe in cultural differences. So I want to know that whatever test I'm doing is going to be, what the answer that you get out of it is really going to support me in what I need to know moving forward. Now, if this person wants to find out about their mindset. I will find something that I think is fitting for that person, and I will let you know. I'll send it on to you. I think it's an excellent question, and I think it's important for us to regularly do inventories on ourselves. Stop for a moment and be silent. Just stop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And figure out where you are, because you're on the page because you've got a great idea, and you're on the page because you've got something that you want to bring forward. But you also have to take care of self, and you have to do an inventory of where your mindset really is, and who are you serving? What are you listening to? What are you turning your head to? You know what I mean? So that is a really, really good question. It's really, really important to be able to find out, actually, what level am I at from 1 to 10? Where do I sit? You know? So you regularly have to do inventories of yourself to make sure that you're not really being, you know, burnt out or pushed to a level where you're not actually working hard enough in your business. So great question. I like that.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
I just also remembered, it's called I'm an assertive advocate. Yeah. So not only am I an advocate, I'm an assertive advocate. Yeah? So
I like that.
But there is personality programs that you can actually log into, and as you correctly said, you have to work out exactly who has done it and what specifically is it for. Because culturally, I mean, remember when we went to what was it? The quiz night at our son's school.
At our son's school,
and the questions were geared to a particular type of person. Yeah. So we're sitting there thinking, what the?
We don't
understand.
Don't know these questions.
So you have to be aware of when you're looking at these applications, who they're geared towards. Yeah. Because there's a cultural misnomer that they're actually putting out there that, you know, they want you to feel that you don't know these things. But the question is, if you were to say to them, okay, where are you going and what do you know about yourself? Are you in touch with yourself? They wouldn't know that. But they can tell you, you know, the radius of an atomic bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not your, you know, that's not where your mindset is.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where we have to be aware of what we are learning and from who, what the agenda when we are learning the things that we're learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And quite rightly, you know, what we're all saying here, because you were thinking, well, hang on a second, do I need to go back to school because I've not answered a particular question? But as you quite rightly said, if there are certain, you know, questions or things that are gearing you in a certain way, if you're aware of that, then you will say, right, no, there is nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, this is geared for a particular,
absolutely,
you know,
audience.
Or it's not me. It's not that I do not know. It's not that I'm not equipped with the right tools. It's just that my tools are not necessarily for you. Yeah.
So it's about reflection, isn't it? Your growth mindset starts with you reflecting upon yourself, understanding who you are and the tools that you have within, and then asking your question. So now I know who I am.
Yes.
What do I do about it? Because I want to get to that place, but I'm not there yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sort of getting the analogy of where that's going. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people actually want to start businesses, but the growth mindset has not yet been put in place. They have not sat down and thought about, what do I want? What have I got? What am I lacking? Let me go and fill that void, fill that space, because I'm filling that question that has always come up. What have I got? What haven't I got yet? And once I clarify that and I tick that off because I now got it, I move forward. But if you allow what you haven't got to stop you, then you can't say what your future could have been, because you haven't tackled the issues that confront you. And don't be afraid of them, because if you are afraid of the issues that confront you, you are always going to live in fear. And eventually one day you'll sit back while washing the dishes and thinking, oh, I should have done that. I would have done that. I could have done better. Yeah. Because subconsciously you are always working on your issues.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even if you have to go back to studying or you have to learn something, don't be scared of applying for that course or applying for that degree, because you start from where you are. So you go to the simplest textbook, you learn and you annotate from there, and eventually build yourself up. So you don't become scared or anything, or you don't build that fear muscle. I heard a saying once, and it said, nothing is real until you give it a meaning.
Yeah.
So if you do not give a situation a meaning, if you do not give a word that has been spoken over you or about your business or about your pathway, it means nothing.
Right.
So until you start thinking about it with your mind, if you do not give that a meaning, then it can't affect you. Nothing can happen. So
That's
again, you have to think about what you're thinking about, you know?
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
You did pose some two questions to the group, which we put out into the group, and we have had one or two back. But before I put that to you, I have got another question for you from one of the other members. Is there anything that triggers a growth mindset? If so, what is it?
Belief in yourself.
That triggers a growth mindset? If so, what is it?
Belief in yourself. It's only you that can trigger a growth mindset. It also goes back to the nature-nurture argument. A growth mindset is how you think about yourself. Nobody can give you a growth mindset. I can say to you, you need to develop it, and you're going to ask me, what do I need to do? And I'm going to say, you need to start thinking in this way. And then you can turn back to me and say, but I can't because of this has happened, this has happened. I don't think I can. And then I'll ask you, well, what do you need? Or what do you know? So it goes back to your belief. How was your belief formed about you? Now, as I said to you earlier on, I struggled in education because I didn't get it. And I was somebody that talked a lot and I couldn't sit down for long and I found it boring, you know, but there was something in me. I was good with my hands. I used to plait hair. I used to do various other things. There's things I used to do and I used to do it very well. I used to love changing the plug. When my dad used to drive, I was always watching him and I learned how to drive on my, I passed my test the first time round. I'm a practical person. Whereas my sister, she liked theory. She did it by reading. Everything she read, she got it. I didn't. So even though I didn't do it in the way that everybody else does, you go to school, you get your O levels, and then you go on and do your higher education. That was not my journey, and that is for another time. And I always like to share it, and I call it the director's chair because I'm the director of my life, of my learning.
Yeah.
So it really depends on. We'll go back to your belief about yourself. So if you're struggling with that, that's another conversation to be had about moving that belief system to where you're at, what you have at the moment, and developing that. Now, earlier on, I said with me, I worked on my strengths, but I confronted my weaknesses. Right. And believe you me, it was very painful because I'm quite confident, but confident with no qualifications, really?
Yeah.
But here I stand,
I
stand, and sometimes it does get overwhelming. I can't believe that I've done it, but here I stand with my qualifications. And again, I'll say that is for another forum. But, I love to share my story. It wasn't easy, but I am now here. So it's about self-belief.
Yeah.
I think also growth mindset also comes to people on the basis of necessity. Yeah, because the easiest example of that is someone having an egg and thinking, is there a better way to do, to crack an egg, and creating something to crack an egg. So they see a challenge, they look at an issue, and then they find a solution. So growth mindset is about finding a solution for yourself. You have to look at yourself first. You have to understand yourself. And as you rightly say, you have to confront your weaknesses or your needs. And you then have to cast aside that person within you that says you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because that person,
That's a
you
loud
are
voice.
the only person who can get rid of that person.
Yeah.
Because other people try to qualify what that person, that negativity in your spirit or yourself dwells. And other people try to
Yes.
qualify that by telling, man, you can't do that, man. Behave yourself, man. Go and sit down, man. Right? Because they haven't got a growth mindset and they're painting it on you. And you're walking around and you haven't taken off their paint. You're adding it
Yes.
onto your own. And you've got
Yes.
mixed and colors going on. When you clear yourself and you wash yourself of that, then you challenge yourself. That's when you can see that what you are about to do is based on what you have decided is a necessity for you to move forward and to recognize that you can do better. And I think one of the things in this group recently was I looked at recently someone asked for a black hair shop, something like that. Yeah.
Online black hair products where you can get online hair products.
And that person received within about 24 hours 45 messages of black-owned businesses that sold black hair products.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, as you said, this could happen in any business, any startup, entrepreneurs. This could start up in any business, as in, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know how. Well, let me look on the internet. Let me look on YouTube to see if there's anything on there. Or let me ask someone if they know of whatever. Or let me talk to someone to say, can I shadow you?
Yeah.
All that is growth mindset, but actions.
Yes.
Those are actions equivalent to growth mindset. Because if you don't do the actions, you just talk.
Right, I'm aware of the time, Jaque. So you did pose the 2 questions, and I'm going to read them out for everyone that's here. And we've had a couple of answers back. So if you don't mind, I'll read them out again for you.
Sure.
And I hope they don't mind. I'll just give them the first name. So Karen has answered, and the question was, what is the definition of performance mindset? And the answer she gave was performance mindset is the daily personal output work that leads to the manifestation of goals, reflective of determination and self-belief that one has decided that their life will be. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was the first
I think we need to have that as an affirmation. Actually, that was really powerful. I was feeling that. I was like, I was writing that down. I was like,
don't worry, we'll send it to you.
We'll send it.
That was awesome. I like that a lot. Okay.
Okay. And for the second question, if you are already an entrepreneur, why is performance mindset important? And her answer, performance mindset is important for entrepreneurs as you have taken the leap of faith to move away from the norm and from the norm and give life to something you feel passionate about. On that journey, there will be setbacks, mistakes, disappointments, loss and judgment. But the main thing is to keep moving forward, planning, implementing, and believing that success is inevitable.
Inevitable.
I say inevitable.
Nice.
I think Karen has got some really good answers there. What do you think on that?
I would say on both of the answers, absolutely perfectly right. I put that in there, the performance mindset, as a curveball, because I wanted to see some of the answers that people were going to give, or whether people were going to be hung up on the word. What do you mean performance? What do you mean this? What do you mean that? Performance, for me, the reason why I spoke about performance is that we have the growth mindset where you're thinking about your ability. Am I able to do something? And if I'm not yet. Whereas when we talk about a performance mindset, we talk about actions and processes. So I put that in there for a reason, because as entrepreneurs, you have to have specific actions every day. You have to have a process that you live by every day. And we're talking about the mindset. That's your control tower. And if this is right, that means the whole day will go correctly. Now, when we break down the word performance, we look at the words like execution, implementation, achievement, fulfillment. We look at words like that. And these are the words, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing that we do when we wake up, we give thanks for being awake. And then we look at what we can execute each day. There needs to be an action and there needs to be a process. Now, we have to look after our vessel in order to have clarity of mind, and we can move around and do everything that we need to do, because you know, you're doing an awesome job by running your own business. In my glass, it's lemon, blueberries, and coriander. I ran out of time, so I couldn't put thyme in my water.
Okay.
And I drink this every day. All right. So it's important when you're drinking something, and let me tell you, nobody likes Coke like I do in Lucozade. All right. But whenever I know that I've got something important to do, I have to stop again, take an inventory, and start putting into my body what I need. And I've had to do this because of certain health reasons for myself, where I had to stop and I had to change what I was doing to meet the outcome. Okay. So again, when we go back to the growth mindset, you get up in the morning, you give thanks when you come off of your bed. You make your tea, whether it's, and I love my coffee, your tea, your coffee, or whatever. Try some lemon and hot water with cayenne pepper. Try that. That will wake up your cells. Say your affirmation. Think about the thoughts that you're having that morning. Think about what you're thinking about, because sometimes you go to sleep and you haven't slept well. Sometimes you're heavily burdened with other things that you have to do. So think about what you're thinking about and try and move. Try and do some form of exercise.
Right.
Try and do something where you're moving. So you're waking up the endorphins instead of waking up the cortisol that's making you stressed and stiff and sick. You know what I mean? Right. So wake those things up in you. So when I say performance, what I was primarily thinking about is the optimal performance of an entrepreneur. Before we even think about your business, I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your growth mindset. I want to talk about how you're feeling within your body. What is happening? Are you able to do everything you need to do for that day? I want to know what you're eating, and I want to know what you're saying to yourself. So that's the reason why I mentioned performance mindset. Right. Because it's about an action and it's about a process. And that is not about your business for the moment. Your action and your process.
Wow.
Wow. Yes.
We both said it together. Wow. Because you know what? People think business is just business. You wake up and you're a businessman. But you know what? If you actually spent the day watching a businessman from the moment he woke up or she woke up to the end of the day, you know, this ain't like going to work 9 to 5. Business is about working this almost 12-hour day.
Right.
But before you do your 12-hour day, you have to give thanks. You wake up, as you rightly say.
Get your mind
you have
right.
to get your mind right. You have to stretch and exercise. I know a certain person who told me that he wakes up at 5 o'clock every day so he can actually get himself together.
Absolutely, that is brilliant. You know, 5 a.m. wake up is great. That is good what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about there. Well done.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's true. But it's all of those things. And again, it's what we have taken for granted, isn't it? You know, okay, you know, for me, who would have known that you'd have to think so far about the things that you ought to be doing, starting with yourself, which is, you know, how are you waking up in the morning? You know what I mean? What affirmations are you saying to yourself? Yeah. Because all of those things then do have a knock-on effect for the day and for your business. The decisions you make,
absolutely.
You know, the ideas that might not be flowing. So I think that's with everything else is another, you know, great thing to take away. What I will say to you, I'll give you somebody else who also sent in their answer. to the two questions that you put, Jaque. So the answer to the first one, the definition of performance mindset, this is from another member of ours, Sharon. I believe this to be having the drive to make a decision and follow it through despite the hurdles that you may encounter along the way, and to do it for yourself rather than for somebody else. Yeah? So that's her answer to the first question.
So,
right, okay.
For the second one, as an entrepreneur, why is it important? Again, she's put, it is important because you will need to repeat the above process to continue to improve, expand, achieve, and grow your business.
Awesome. Love it. Love it,
right?
love it, love it. Operative word in that statement that Sharon made was drive.
Yes.
I often ask entrepreneurs, what is driving you? What is driving you? When you're going through your everyday life, what is driving you? What emotion are you working with? Is it hope? Is it fear? Is it love? Is it pessimism? Is it optimism? What is driving you? What seat are you sitting in?
Wow. Yeah.
So you need to, again, what does your car represent? What is it? For me, it's about, it's love. It's about positivity. It's about, I want to be a millionairess. I'm putting it out there. That's my car that's driving me. I have that drive and I have that push. I want to be fulfilled. I don't have any time for the negative kind of connotations and words around me, because I've seen where that's taken me. I've experienced it. So I tend to, I'm driving in that Mercedes convertible drop top in terms of love, happiness, peace, manifestation, prosperity. You know what I mean? So say that to yourself. Whatever you think you want, the vision will trigger the growth mindset.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're talking about the vision board. I'm going to stick that one on the wall and I'm going to work on that one. The vision board to actually make what you think manifest itself, because you have it in detail. It's not just about having a vision board and say, I want a house. I want a 3-bedroom house. I want 2 bathrooms. I want a garage that takes 2. Yeah, I want a 40 or 90-foot back garden. I want space for 2 cars in the front. Yeah. When you have that vision and you work towards that, that is not only the growth mindset, that's the performance, because that's what you're working towards. And as long as you
and you're being specific, being specific. Now, I just want to show you something here. Bear with me a minute.
Okay.
Let me just quickly, as soon as you've actually said that, let me just quickly show you, being a chartered psychologist, what my vision board was like. And I think on there, I don't know if you can see the certificate. There's a certificate that I put there.
Yeah.
It said chartered psychologist. That was on my vision board.
Okay.
Okay. And there's a certificate in life form there.
In life form on the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, so you arrived at that point.
Okay. So I put it in front of me.
She said, say it, see it, and believe it. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's it. That's it.
See it, believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say, if I was there, I mean, once again, thank you everybody for joining us. I know I've not been able to call your names one by one, but I do see you in the group. If you do have any questions for Jaque, we've got about 5 minutes or so left. If you have any questions, but obviously we'll keep on talking, and if you do have one, then we'll put it to her within that time.
And what we can do is the questions, we can forward them on to Jaque, and we can put them on our page, the answers, if Jaque has the time to do so. We'll ask her kindly, beg you do, right? to answer them, so that people can actually see, the questions that were asked. However, it won't be forever and ever, so we'll lock it off, let's say, the last set of questions at 10 o'clock.
At 10? No, I think you've gone an hour over yourself.
No. The questions. We'll take the last question at 10.
At 10? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last question.
Fine.
So that Jaque can receive it.
What would be nice, Jaque, also as well, if those affirmations and those things that you've like a bullet point, you know, for the members and whoever's watching, just to give a base, you know, things to think about, your vision board, you know, see
Sure.
it, leave it, that kind of thing. And then at least then we can, you know, our members can at least start the process of getting their spiritual mind, body and mind, everything in gear, so that they can
Right.
go forward
for
in
their
preparation
business.
for their business.
Yeah.
Right. And another important question that they can actually forward on to you guys is, what training do they need? I've done many, oh my God, the amount of training that I've had to do to understand certain things. You know, what training do you need? It doesn't matter what it is. Put it out there so you can look at it and we can figure out, you know, how to best move forward. So put out there what training you need, what training you might feel you need in terms of your business. It's a minefield out there. So, you know, it needs to really be structured. It needs to be tight, and you really need to be capturing those clients in whatever way, shape or form. And your marketing needs to be 100%.
Well, we have many marketing, very good marketing
persons on
people on the group at the moment.
Companies and individuals.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think those are the areas that we will be going through.
Awesome.
In terms of that, in terms of what we're going to be doing in the future, next week we will be speaking to another business owner, Mr. Spencer Fergus. Now, this man has created a sauce, and believe me, I have that in my fridge right now, and I'm not gonna, there's only a little bit left, but I'm not going to touch that until I get another sauce back from him. So I'm gonna buy from him. It's called One Shot, and you can use it to do vegetables, meat, anything, and it's just one shot, all you need. So when our cousins tell you that, you know, they've cooked and whatever, one shot on that, and food tastes like you prepared it. Yeah. But it's a really good recipe. It's wonderful. I tried it. I love it. And we're going to speak to him next week, Monday, the 11th of May.
Next week, Monday. And also as well, his business, he's just started his business as well, and is looking to take it to the next level. So there you go, starting from the idea, now
right all the way
shifting,
yeah.
Not all the way through just yet, but shifting up into another gear. So,
yeah. So
it'd be great to
so
see.
He's actually done production plants and everything. He's so far that we are talking that he's talking to large retailers, and I can't say anything because his business is just developing.
So when we talk to him next week, that's the next week. But this is leading on from yourself, Jaque, because you know that's the next step really, as in what we spoke about today and what you've shared with us, which is just valuable. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
More than welcome.
That's where, when we do speak with Spencer next week, people can see, okay, so from that idea, this has been with the mindset. This is where that's taken him so far. So. No, thank you very much for those nuggets of information that you shared.
Thank you. And I hope everyone can utilize it. Yeah, and keep on watching the video because the information is there. Re-watch it until you understand what you need and go get it. Yeah,
it's in the group.
Yeah, don't have a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is what you need. So go out there, watch the video again. You know, listen to what's going on. And take notes. Take notes. When this show comes up and we're saying this is what we're doing, always have a paper and pen because you're going to take notes. You're going to find things that's of interest to you.
And so looking to help you. Thank you very much, Jaque.